and bring it to Rosendale on Saturday, and I pick it up. Scallops, various lukes.
All right, we are streaming on the anniversary page and YouTube. So later on, if somebody wants to share the YouTube link, I'll copy it. If somebody wants to put it in to the main Facebook page, they can. But I'm not a member, so I can't. I'm sorry for the start of this stream, but I will post the link. Okay. So this is always difficult. This was difficult when we did one for John. It's difficult when we did when we're doing one for Arthur, because you don't really know what to say, right? There's this big part of our community comes along, is unexpected, makes a big, drastic change in everybody's life, and then it's that thing is gone, and you have no idea at first how to process, and then after you figure out how to process, you have no idea how to move forward. I didn't do a whole lot with Arthur until the anniversary hunt started. I was like, with Arthur, I was mainly a middleman for him. Like, we talked a good bit and we were friends, but I was mainly a middleman. Like, I was the guy that would send things out for him, and he would send huge boxes to me with like 5 or 6 different shipments of art that had to go to people in America, and I would just resend them for him. That was how we sort of became friends and started talking. He came to me with the idea for the anniversary hunt, which I thought was really nice. And we worked on that together for over a year now. We got sort of close with that, and I went through this whole planning with him, thinking about how much fun it's going to be, to sit back and talk to Arthur about how people process clues and about how people work together. And a couple of weeks after it's released, he's just gone, and it's really hard to process. So Rebecca came up with the idea of having this stream where we just kind of talk about Arthur and his impact on us and on the community, and share some stories. In case you're watching us and you have no idea who any of us are, some of us have names. Rebecca doesn't, though. She's over there. Over there. That's Rebecca. Rebecca Vernon. She is very close friends with Arthur. You were Arthur's hunting partner in Montreal.
In all the hunts, yeah, and we had partnered up to try and find the golden owl in France.
Oh God, that's such a cool hunt.
Yeah, like we connected about 2.5 years, like pretty at the very pose that like he's made, right? Because Archer was a firm believer in verse 8 in Montreal. Like it's not it's not a secret. Like he's been very, very active about it. I know, controversial, but like, and I shared some information about the city. We talked about other puzzles, and we quickly realized that we had a similar view, not always agreeing on the endpoints or maybe some of the verses, but it's like we shared such a similar mind. It was easy for me to just say, hey, what if this? And then him, oh yeah, and what is that? And then you can talk for like an hour about like just one single idea.
Yeah.
And that's how we've bonded, right? And my husband, that you partially see in the camera, being also European, right? Like he's from England. So like it was fun, I guess, to just have someone from that side of the pond to, yeah, he's got his British cup, but like, just to chat with and just really connect, right? So
I think that was the good thing about Arthur, right? Like it didn't really matter. He had this personality where it didn't really matter what you believed. It didn't really matter what you wanted to talk about. He could talk about it with you, and he could support you in your ideas, and help you in a way that most people can't. You know, I think that's what resonated so much with so many of the members of the community, is that he didn't care what you thought. He just wanted to help you on your journey.
Yeah, he wanted those casks held, even though he wasn't like my idea, his idea. We didn't really care. Like, in the end of the day, like, he had this way of like just taking your kind of hunch or just little blur as a what if, and just digging up that 1980 picture out of nowhere that nobody can find, that just,
Yeah.
shows your spot, and you can run away with it. And just, he made you feel like I said in my post, like, at that very moment you're the most important person, or like, your idea is always worth like something, right?
Yeah.
And to never be discouraged about your journey. So yeah.
So I'm going to switch because we have Joellen with us, and Joellen's going to have to leave soon. Joellen, so the first time I had an experience with you and Arthur was when you were teaching your class on how to build tiny chairs, and just seeing how much fun Arthur had in that class. Like, you couldn't look at, because it was a Zoom class like this, and you couldn't look at Arthur's frame without him beaming, and just being like he had never done this kind of art before, and really, as far as I know, in any way, shape, or form. But he was very interactive, very excited to learn, and very supportive of everyone else in the class. Was that your first experience with Arthur, or had you guys connected before?
Well, it was my first experience actually speaking with him and interacting with him. And, what happens is you meet somebody and you fall in love with them, basically. I mean, I saw Arthur and, all of you, little bits and pieces, when I'd sort of be a voyeur and look in at the different puzzles and stuff and answer a couple questions. I fell in love with everybody. But so he was really big in his, he took up a lot of emotional space in me somehow. I just felt like, wow, if I ever had a kid, I'd want it to be Arthur. Because I felt like, I don't know, like you corresponded and reciprocated each other so well that you felt like you were related somehow.
Yeah.
And even though you weren't, I hope he had that relationship with everybody. I'm sure he did, because that means that he got a lot of love from a lot of different directions, from all over the world. So he was at the end was kind of working on a book. He wanted to do a little book of my dolls and stuff. So we were sort of interacting that way also.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember him. He talked about that a little bit. I mean, he was very excited. I don't know how far along it came, but he was very excited.
Well, I sent him files, and he sent me samples of some of the writing and then I got busy, and summer came, and it was too crazy.
Yeah.
So that was pretty much the last of it.
But I feel like Arthur was like that with everybody. I feel like that's the special thing about Arthur was he made you feel like you were the most important person to him, especially in that conversation you were having. It's a gift that not everyone has, and he was so genuine with his love and with his excitement, and with sharing your excitement, that he cemented himself in a lot of people's hearts.
He was so talented, though. He had so many different directions that he could go in, writing and cartoons and the characters. I wish I understood Dutch. Like, I never knew what the Pinot Noirs were doing.
Yeah, I have no idea. But apparently they're really popular. Can you grab Calvin?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to show you something. I don't know if you've ever seen it, John. There's so the guys that found the Cleveland casks, their names are Brian and Andy. But online, their names were Siskel and Egbert, like play on Siskel and Ebert. And their profile pictures were Calvin and Hobbes. One
Oh
of them
yeah.
was
Okay.
Calvin and one of them was Hobbes.
Yeah.
So one of the first sort of major things that Arthur did in the community was he said, he came to me and he was like, hey, I made some sculptures. And I really didn't know this guy from Adam at this point. He was like, I made some sculptures, and I was like, I'd like to send them to you and have you send them out to Brian and Andy. He was like, I did a play on their profile pictures, and he was like, and I made this, and it's a little thing of Calvin and Hobbes, and like just the creativity to do that, to take an old Calvin and Hobbes strip and put one of your little casks in here. And then that Christmas he made little miniature casks for
right. I thought he showed me those.
Yeah,
and also that he took the images from the paintings. That I couldn't believe how he did that. He was amazing.
Yeah. Have you seen the anniversary cask he made?
I don't remember. I don't know.
So he decided for the 40th anniversary of The Secret, he wanted to do sort of like a mini hunt that would be not like the tribute that John Michaels did, but something a little kind of easier that maybe would be solved really quickly. It's turning out that's not quite the case, but he made a cask.
Oh, it's so much better. If only I wish I had made that.
So it's got instead of the fair folk all around, he did representations of people who worked on the book. Like this is Overton Lloyd, this is Ted Mann, you are over here, and then where you have the sort of the filigree at the top, he put the names of the cities.
I see that.
Yeah, so I thought it was super cool.
So amazing. I'm so glad you have that.
Yeah. There's one in the ground too somewhere. People want to find
it.
He made like a giant painting. It was amazing. So yeah.
I think he was where his sister showed me a painting that he was working on that maybe he was thinking of as a cover of the book at one time. And it has me in it. It looks more like if I were his mom. Well, he could be. I mean, he was only 46 years old. I mean, my daughter's 46 years old.
It's too.
But it had all the dolls around it, and he did a lot of research because there were some that are hard to find.
Wow, that's so stuff like that. Stuff I would love to see because the stuff Arthur shared with us was so great. And one thing that I know about artists is the stuff they hold back tends to be greater. So I would love to see.
It wasn't done. His sister said it wasn't done. He hadn't finished putting the lettering in and stuff that he was going to put text and stuff.
So yeah. All right. Well, I have no idea what to say in these situations.
Did you say that somebody was able to translate some funeral? Of the people that were speaking at the funeral?
There's two people out there that are currently translating the funeral.
That's a hard job.
Yeah, it's a
really hard job.
That was an hour and a half long. Yeah. When I don't think it's done yet, but when it is, I'll make sure you get a copy, and there'll be a copy posted online. And
I watched it. It was so beautiful. What a beautiful setting.
Oh, and the end was heartbreaking.
The end.
Oh.
I know. I'm just.
I mean, you could tell in that room that he was loved. I mean, that room was packed. And then when they went to walk down that road, it was just, so many people. You could tell he was loved.
The really sad thing that I forgot that he was in the casket. I forgot that. I mean, that it's just his body, but I don't know what happens to a person's energy. The energy doesn't go away. So it's got to be somewhere, even if it's broken up into a million pieces.
There was something that I read once, where it was every time you take a breath, there's a super high likelihood that you're taking in molecules that were breathed by Julius Caesar. So and that kind of gives me a little bit of comfort when I think about the people that have passed. Like every time I'm taking a breath, I'm probably taking a breath that has a molecule that my grandmother breathed previously, or that Arthur breathed previously. So I take comfort in that. Like when I'm not religious, so I don't believe in heaven, and it helps me feel like these people are still around us. You know, I don't know how true it is, but it helps.
Well, I think for me, heaven is like having a great relationship with somebody.
Yeah,
That's like heaven. I mean, and being in a beautiful, there's so much beauty around
yeah.
that, there's so much. That's, heaven is everywhere.
And it makes me appreciate people now. You know, you appreciate them. I think you appreciate the moment more, because because you don't get to I won't get to see you again. You know, so I appreciate it now.
Any second. I mean, I was just with a friend yesterday and we were driving. She was driving. I don't really drive, but we almost had an accident. And it was like, it could happen anytime. It could happen anytime.
Arthur's proof of that. He was too young. He was in decent
It
health.
reminded me to be nicer to my husband. Tell him how wonderful he is. He is. But you don't tell him all the time.
You should tell me that more often.
So.
I'd say Arthur also had that spirit too, right? Like we all have a part of Arthur in us. Like you were talking about like what you're breathing. I actually feel 100% the same way, George. My spirituality is very closely aligned, but also just every day, this moment right now is, I'm taking a little bit of all of you with me, right? And I carry that forward into the next things that I do. And then I put that forth to other people, right? So but Arthur had that moxie. I don't know what he had, that it factor, right? That was just incrediand speaking to what you guys were talking about before, when Arthur introduced me to Rebecca and asked me to be a part of the San Francisco hunt and just kind of look around with them and share theories, the way he started it out was just like, okay, well, you can pick, if you dig it up, then you can choose between the cask and Rebecca will get the gem or vice versa. All I want is pictures of the cask, and I want it to be found, and I want to have fun, and I want everyone to have fun. And it was never, ever, ever about himself in that. Yeah. It was always it's just so Arthur, right? I mean, he just loved to give and loved to have a good time.
Yeah. I don't think he ever asked for anything.
No, like in Montreal, he just wanted a cast to be able to do a replica. Never wanted to keep it, right? He wasn't there for the journey, first and foremost, the friends, the learning, the history, and he just wanted to have a good time, honestly. That's how we felt it, right? It's really never been about asking anything in return. It just found its place, right? It was just happy with the joy that it was bringing to all of us, essentially. So
absolutely. And he did that beautifully, didn't he? He just brought joy.
Yeah.
All of this because of some tiny ceramic box that Joe Ellen made in 1984.
That I didn't like.
That she thought she's like, ugly flower pot.
It is the ugly flower pot, I believe you. It's true.
But I really want, that if this situation brings anything good, I would like it for this to sink in. Joellen, this is the impact your art's had on people. We are all here together because of that. We all know Arthur because of that. We all have these shared experiences and these shared loves because of your art. So,
well,
thank you.
I was very lucky. I mean, I won lotto.
Yeah.
I mean, I've won lotto like 1,000,000 times now. Just about. That's what I think. I remember somebody said, why didn't you play lotto? I said, I already won lotto. Just being alive. I mean, and I was lucky to meet Byron. I was lucky to meet Ben. I was lucky to have a job. I was lucky to be able to make things out of trash, basically. That's lotto.
Yeah.
So I'm really so grateful that you all are out there and that you give a shit. I mean, really about this thing. But I think you share community, and that's the most important thing in life.
Yeah.
And really, as far as I'm concerned, all there is love. There isn't anything else. There's nothing else. What else is there?
That's it.
I
I mean, everybody has to have a tribe, and we definitely have one because of this. And Arthur
definitely.
Arthur
I'm
was a
glad to
giant
be,
part. Yeah.
a voyeur. And part of it, in a way.
We're gonna get you involved. You're gonna start searching for your old art.
I'm a slow learner.
Well, I think it's important that we do stuff like this. It's like when after John passed away, I had this long talk with his mom, and I told her, I was like, like we were saying before about our beliefs. I said, I feel like as long as John's memory is alive and with people, that John's still here. It's one of the reasons I like the fact that the tribute is unsolved, and one of the reasons I like the fact that the anniversary is unsolved. While people are still talking about those, John and Arthur are still here with us. So I promised her that I would never let John's memory die. And I'll do the same for Arthur as well. As long as we keep him in our memories and in our hearts, he's still with us. So, yeah. I don't know where I was going with that, but it was a nice thought, I think.
I'll tell you what I regret, all the getting to know Arthur better.
I think we knew him pretty well.
Like, to know Arthur better is through you.
Well, we knew him we bonded a little bit when we were making the chairs, and he was so proud of his chair, and it turned out so good with the little boot. He did such a good job on it.
It was great. And I never, my husband is a woodworker. One of his things, he makes furniture. But Arthur made a chair out of pantyhose with a wooden leg because it was a pirate.
And he went so farther. Funny. He made his own dolls.
Yeah.
He went way outside of the scope of that class.
He went so fast that I couldn't keep. I said, I wanted to say, Arthur, wait a minute, I can show you more stuff. You'll like it. But he was, he was fast. He was doing other stuff. So.
I think that was his thing. Like, he processed art by doing. Like, some people process art by looking at it or studying it, or what. He tried to replicate things. It's just like, did you know he made a replica of the Montreal painting from The Secret? Like, he hand painted one, and it was beautiful.
I think I saw a picture of that.
Yeah, he did Montreal. I know he did New York, and before passing, he was doing currently Charleston. He didn't have a chance to finish it.
Wow.
That was his way of understanding how John could hide stuff in the painting. It was like, by doing it myself, then I can maybe see things that others didn't see before, right? So yeah, that was his philosophy. They're beautiful. They're amazing. Yeah.
He was amazing.
I didn't get to see the New York one. Damn.
Well, I think I did see.
I've got some pictures of the Montreal one. If you haven't, I'll send it to you.
Yeah, it's worth it. It's worth looking at. Yeah.
I was trying to find the picture of the chair that he sent. But I'm sure, do you guys have it too? I can't find it.
I can just go.
Have you seen it? The chair that he made?
Yeah, he sent it to us, Rebecca. I was trying to go back through our. When was it that the class ended?
It was probably, let's see, it's May, maybe July, maybe.
Maybe July.
Okay. Joellen posted a nice photo on the anniversary page, which I can show people, but I can't show you guys. Like, I can put it on the screen for everyone else to see. So yeah, that's Arthur's chair, but I can't show you guys.
Send them the link and they can see it.
I can send them the link.
It was a nice chair. He had a lot of fun doing
gorgeous.
it too. It was a fun class.
He was great. He used an old tie for the seat, the red seat, and
yeah,
he had all those little objects that he had found in various places incorporated into it. It was great. And then he put his creatures on there. His
Boiling and Spinoza.
yes.
Did you ever see his comic strip that he made? He made a comic strip about The Secret with those two characters.
I saw a couple of them, and I was trying to get inside his head, but
yeah, he made little clay sculptures.
they're so funny.
I'll send you a link later. He had me archive them all on 12 Treasures. We were building like a website for him for Boiling and Spinoza that was connected to my website, but we never got it finished. But I'll send you the link. All of them are there. They're hilarious if you get the inside jokes. If you don't get the inside jokes, they're like,
yeah, I wouldn't get it probably. But that's okay. I know what the cartoons look like.
So Eve had letters from people who wanted to be here but couldn't be here?
Yes. Do you want me to do them all at once? We're gonna sparse them out?
That's totally up to you, Eve. Do you want to do them one at a time? There's a lot of reading.
That much reading. I am going to shut the door first because I'm hearing noises from the other room.
We're pro podcasters, Eve. You have to be a professional.
Well,
We're professional podcasters here.
somebody was warned, and I just heard the vacuum packer going off, so he got doxxed today. All right. Well, I'm going to read. I'll go for the medium length one and see how that goes. I have a note from Christina, so I will just read this. It says, I met Arthur through the Facebook group for the book The Secret, A Treasure Hunt by Byron Priest. We started chatting when we both were helping to make some games to play at night for the Facebook group. He was always so kind and caring, always offering to help anyone who needed it in our group. We often talked about the differences between our two countries during lockdown. He always messaged me to wish me a Happy New Year or a Merry Christmas, Happy Birthday. I was quite sick last winter, and Arthur would text and ask how I was doing. His kindness seemed to have no limit. He always shared his knowledge, artwork, kindness, and time to not only myself, but the entire group, never asking for anything in return. Rest in peace, Arthur, aka Thur. You'll be greatly missed. Your friend Tina.
So Arthur, I don't know if you know, everybody knows this. There's a lady in our group named Sunday, and for a while she was doing a trivia, sort of like a trivia game show based on The Secret. And she had Arthur make some questions and then draw some like images where you had to guess what the image was trying to tell you. And Sunday sent me a couple of clips, so I'm going to play those. Everybody in the street, I'm sorry? What?
I have the little thing before that too.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'll
It's just
wait.
like 2 lines.
Okay.
It says this. Our friendship began while working together on a trivia project. I would like to share a few of my favorite moments. So here he is, my friend Arthur.
Okay. So everybody in Zoom will be able to hear this, but you won't be able to see it.
It's probably chicken, but I don't mean New York. It's a leg eater, so Montreal. That's a US mail bag, and that's Chewbacca. It's obvious, yeah. Mail, Wookie. Mail Wookie, Milwaukee.
He was super creative. Like it's just oh man, Milwaukee.
The puns. He had the puns down.
Can we post that video into the link someone?
Yeah.
Just so that people can see what that looked like. It was just so.
I think it is posted. I saw
Oh,
it.
it is.
Yeah, it's posted. And then like I said, it's on stream. So if you go back and watch the stream, you can see it. Everybody who's watching can see it. You guys just
Oh, okay.
I don't have that technology
So-
yet.
For my birthday, he made a little video, and it was I think it was one of the creatures from the cast. I'm not sure which one because I don't remember what I made, but He seemed to know. And it was clapping. It was clapping happy birthday. He was whistling, and this was clapping.
Nice.
They were almost in tune together. So I could find that. But
he was really good at stuff like that. He made a trailer for the anniversary. I didn't realize how good he was with video. He was really good with video.
the little movie of the underwater creatures, the actual movie, it was so beautiful.
Yeah.
It was gorgeous.
And I had no idea. You know? Like he was a man with many skills. So yeah.
Did he have somebody in his life, did he have somebody?
Not that I'm aware of.
He never mentioned. I was trying to figure out if, see his sister. She was so sweet, Denise, and his parents.
Yeah, as far as I know, he was single, no kids, no.
No, I had no one. No.
Well, he had people.
But
Yeah,
had
well.
no, but you know what I mean.
He had
You know
all
what
of
I
you.
mean. He had many friends, but no partner, right? So that no partner that I know of, anyway. So.
I guess that's what everybody fell in love with him. So there you go.
Yeah.
It was probably mutual.
Like you say that he's got many talent, but like definitely one of the learning that we've always taken and that my kids are taking as well is like, you can do whatever you want, right? Like if you have a dream you want to publish a book or you want to do a movie, well, you can do it.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if it's successful or not, at least you've done it, right? And it's just reach for the sky. That's it. That's what we've taken back a lot from him. This is how we're raising our kids. Like my son wants to be an author, right? He wants to do cartoon books. So like Arthur was looking forward to be able to sort of mentor him when he was going to enter college, right? And and Joshua was looking forward to it as well. And we just tell them, you're going to do whatever you want. You can do 3 things at once if you want, and we're going to push you to be the better of it. It's not about the money. It's not about the success. It's about living your passions, right? And I think if we can all take them back from Arthur, I think this is a fantastic learning, especially for our little ones, if we can bring that, or even to us, right? Because, I mean, it won't lie, like the past 2 years have been special, right? So, and now it's like, it's a time where like, you sort of can revive, I guess, and, it's time for change, perhaps, for many of us, and just listen to your heart, just like Arthur did his entire life. It's just pursued whatever dreams he had.
He even found a boat, a sunken boat. That is right. I mean, the man had no bounds.
Exactly.
He had no fear. Like that's something some of the best artists have. Is everybody gets these ideas like I should do this or I should do that, and then they start second guessing themselves. Well, what if people don't like it, or what if I'm not good at it, or whatever? So might as well not do it. But Arthur didn't have that fear. He just got an idea in his head, and he was like, "All right, I'm going to do that now. So I'll make a chair out of pantyhose. It'll be fine." And that's that's what I think. That's why he was able to gather such a large skill set. He just had no fear. He didn't care what you thought about it. He just wanted to do it.
But to be good at everything also.
Yeah.
I mean, not just have an idea and go for it, but to be good at it. That's really amazing.
Yeah.
He was good at it. The portrait he painted of his ancestor, like a Rembrandt.
That was the one that was
On the funeral.
Yeah.
That was it of the same ancestor that he found, like who was the sole survivor of the boat that he found, right? Wasn't that the whole?
I think so.
Yeah.
That was that the topic of his books, because I knew the painting was the cover of a book, but I'd never seen the books.
Yeah.
It looked like there were several books there, 3 little books.
He wrote a few books, and he wrote a cartoon. Like we have a cartoon here that is made, and it's about a battle where Canadians were super involved in World War II. But he's done a few different things. Yeah.
Wow.
Amazing.
Yeah, I have it here.
I was
I think it's fun.
oh yeah.
It's all we had all the illustrations there.
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah.
Byron would have loved him, right? I mean, I feel like he would have too.
Yeah.
Just like you, Joanne. I don't know. I was talking with Rebecca a little bit about it. No, she just left. But
I'm here. I'm here.
Arthur has a theory for San Francisco, and I keep going back and forth, maybe to share it.
I don't
Not
think he
now,
would mind.
but I mean, I feel like Arthur, it should be found in his honor if it's there, or I just think it's creative too. But maybe that's not the question to ask right now. But I wonder if people would want to see that too. And yesterday, Rebecca virtually and Keith came with me to the spot that Arthur, felt that it was in San Francisco, and we left some flowers there for him, and I gave him a farewell and also just a sunny tribute to him, right, in his spot. But I didn't want to share the pictures because it shows where it is. So I guess I'd love to know if I should share it or if it's something that I should just take with him. I don't know.
I don't think he would mind if people
so
knew.
lovely.
I don't think he would mind, honestly. Like, he wanted these to be found. Like we built a few theories together, and I know we've presented them to a few people in each of the cities that, we felt their values and philosophy were close to ours, right? Like how we, we decided let's work with Kate, or let's, things like that, right? But end of the day, he wants these to be found, right? That's why we always said we need to speak with someone local. We can't keep.
And we all had our own ideas, right? We all had our own ends, right?
Yeah.
We had our own thing, but it was fun just.
And that's normal. That's
Yeah.
normal, but...
I feel kind of odd. Arthur never spoke about The Secret with me. He never shared any of his ideas. I have no idea what he thought.
Probably because he knows how overwhelmed with everybody else's theories you are.
I'm going to have to leave just for a second and check and see if my ride is here.
Okay.
No, I think it was a beautiful tribute, and he just wants them out, honestly. And I think he would. I think he would love to know he had been right all along.
Be amazing. Be
I
a
don't
great
think-
timing. Be like, Arthur, look at it.
It's not somewhere we're allowed to dig, unfortunately, no.
Yeah, I think I saw something that you posted about it, and I was like, oh, there are other people that are there too.
Yeah.
So it's a nice spot. It's a beautiful spot. It's a great spot.
Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I guess I'll say it, but it was at, Sutro Baths at the cave there. And, he's always Fat Man Cave, Arthur's cave now. But if you turn around from that cave, as Rebecca pointed out yesterday, I actually hadn't even realized I was at that spot. When you turn around, there's the heart shape in the rocks in the water right behind it, and it's just beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
I gotta go back to San Francisco. It's a beautiful town. Now I gotta go to Arthur's spot where I go to San Francisco.
I'll meet you there. I want to make a memorial stone for him and bring it there to leave.
Yeah.
Other people wanted to come and do that together. But
That's cool. We could 100% do that. I know one of my friends died, and we made a stone for him, but we made it to where you can't really see it, and it could never be damaged, or it doesn't damage the area. So I'll show you how to do that. We can make one for Arthur.
Yeah, I figured it's something you could leave there that the national parks may not get upset about.
Yeah, because the other one was done in national park, so it had to be something you couldn't see but would always be there. So
Right.
Yeah. We can totally.
You could do a geocache as well. Like that's one of those things that remains hidden, but it's in the spirit of the hunt.
That's a great idea. I love that. And I'd love to do it with some of his artwork, like Boiling and Spinoza, or something, or that's the San Francisco woman, that last piece of art that he sent in his theory. It's, maybe when I share it, then somebody creative can help me put that on a rock. I don't know.
We'll all fly down to San Francisco and do it together. We'll pull some money. We'll fly Joellen down. You ever been to San
Yeah.
Francisco, Joellen?
I don't go anywhere.
I understand that. I don't like to drive either.
Yeah, I'll drive to California. That's fine. Wait, I used to work in California. I worked in Los Angeles and I drove to work every day.
Maybe that's why you don't like to drive now.
Yeah, that's probably why you don't like to
Yeah,
drive.
probably.
That and living in Manhattan. It's like the worst driving experiences ever.
I never drove in Manhattan.
At
I
least,
never did when I lived there either.
at least you don't have all the cones and detours from Montreal and the potholes. I'm gonna say that.
Well, potholes.
Potholes they
Or
go.
Michigan potholes.
Oh yeah, cannot be worse. We have constructions everywhere up here. Like there's some bridges that are closed. It's crazy. You don't want no. You come in and you stay downtown and you don't leave.
It's weird listening to other people talk about driving in their cities when we're like, we're Florida, we have turtles. That's it. Just turtles.
We stop for the turtles. You put your emergency light on. You stop your car. You go out and you move the turtle. Sometimes you bring the turtle home if it's a cute one. It depends.
Oh well. Eve, did you have more stuff from more people?
Yes, I do. I will do them both because one. Okay. So this is from Sunday. Arthur was truly brilliant in all things, especially the art of friendship. He had a way of framing things that gave you a greater perspective, not only the situation, but of yourself. I am a better person for knowing him.
That was very sweet. That was from Sunday.
Oh,
It was very sweet.
I mean, he just, I don't know, he seemed very selfless and very, I mean, I consider him part of my evil laugh group, which, because he's so creative, it's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. It's like, they're like, oh, the way they just, it's like, how do you do that? How do you come up with that? But I don't know, he appreciated my squirrel side of things, of my brain. So. And then this is from Leanne. This is a little bit longer. So, Dear Arthur, I remember fondly when we first met on the tribute page. We immediately clicked, and luckily for me, our friendship quickly followed. You brought very much needed class, energy, intellect, kindness, and immense talent to an old treasure hunt that is sometimes difficult and drags its feet. You picked us all up and helped us to look at the hunt through an artist's eyes, and in doing so, made us smile. I also remember fondly all the conversations we had that were not about the secret, the true treasure, becoming friends. I loved hearing your passion for your family, art, books, and history. I love that we both read Celestine Prophecy a million years ago and reflected on that. It was incredible to learn that as a foreign exchange student in Vegas, the organization arranged for a U.S. flag to be flown above the Capitol for you, for like 2 seconds, as you said, and that you would never let the flag touch the ground. I especially enjoyed you telling me that if you could have dinner with anyone, 2 people that you mentioned were Neil deGrasse Tyson, an astrophysicist, and Edward de Bono, who writes about creative thinking. You especially liked Teach Yourself to Think. You recommended to me, per that book, as an exercise in creative writing, to pose a problem and take a dictionary, open the dictionary, point at a word, and try to come up with a solution to that problem that somehow uses that word or its meaning. I think creative thinking will always remind me of you, Arthur, and your incredible mind. But surely what I will miss most from you, Arthur, is your kindness and support. During a recent loss I suffered, you constantly checked in with me to see how I was doing. You encouraged me to let emotions do their work and let the tears come when they may. You also reminded me that pain tells us there is so much love. Arthur, we are all hurting now because you were so loved. Peace be with you always, my friend. It just seems so wrong that you are gone. In your honor, I hope that we all keep a bit of you in our hearts to help make the world a better place, as you certainly did. With so much love, Leanne. I'm going on mute.
Well, I think we should probably end shortly. I'm not sure. Yeah, because Joellen has to leave. I'm not sure what else we have. I'm not sure if there were other things that were written that needed to be said.
I had received a poem from Kelly that I can read as well if you'd like to go through that.
Sure.
I'm gonna have to leave, but I thank you.
Thank you for coming, Joellen.
Thank you so much for
I
coming.
hate to leave. I don't
No.
want to leave at all.
No, it's perfectly fine. If we can say anything, your friendship meant a lot to him. So thank you for coming.
It was mutual. Love you all.
So there was a text and there was a poem. So she wrote, one day a man named Archer reached out to me about a post I had done. He told me my ideas were brilliant. Yes, finally someone acknowledged it. Seriously, that very day he became a trusted source, a trusted partner, a trusted friend. When I heard that Archer had passed, I went back and read the hundreds of messages to and from each other. I am shocked how many times I have reached for my phone to share something with him. It wasn't just text either. We Zoom a few times, and I always remember his easy mannerism, his sly and gentle smile, and his comforting voice. I always remember his easy mannerism, his sly and gentle smile. Okay, I echo. Archer had a way of drawing one in, of having folks want to lean in to be closer to him. His wit, his gentle nature, and his love of people will always stand out. One never knows how someone would touch another person's life, and Archer truly touched mine. He'll be remembered as a gentle soul and wonderful friend. Sleep well, Archer. No, you will not be forgotten. And then she sent a little poem that says, sail on, my friend. I am standing upon the seashore. A ship at my side spreads her white sails to the morning breeze and starts for the blue ocean. She's the object of beauty and strength, and I stand and watch her until she hangs like a speck of white cloud, just where the sea and sky come down to meet and mingle with each other. Then someone at my side says, there, she's gone. Gone where? Gone from my sight. That is all. She's just as large in mast and hull and spar as she was when she left my side, and just as able to bear her load of living freight to the place of her destination. Her diminished size is in me and not in her. And just as at that moment when someone at my side says, there, she's gone, there is other eyes that are watching for her coming, and other voices ready to take up the glad shout, there she comes. And that is dying. So that's what she sent.
Sunday asked if she could share something about how much she was enjoying. Yeah, but yeah, I'm not sure how. She's not live, so I'm not sure how she wants to send it. But yeah.
Oh,
That was a sweet
I'm here.
poem.
Oh, she is here. Okay.
yeah.
Oh,
If you don't have a face, I'm just like, oh, is she here? I don't even.
Have you
I
been
know
here
it's
the
kind
whole
of odd
time?
that I had Evie read my personal statement, but
Oh,
Oh, so you've been here the whole time.
she's just been.
Yeah.
She's been creeping in the
She's a creep-
background.
she's a
I've
creeper.
been lurking. Well, no, we didn't know for sure if it was there was a little bit of anyhow. We didn't know if it was we needed to join the Zoom to hear it and it would be posted later or not. But
Oh.
what I really wanted to share was just how much Arthur was really enjoying the anniversary hunt and the group. He was so funny because he had really particular ways that he wanted to do things. And I mean, Arthur was one of the kindest people that you'll ever want to meet, but he was also one of the strongest. And he approved individual members, like each one. But it was so important to him, and he wanted to create an environment that was open and creative, and it was just very special. And of course, he didn't tell me any details, but we just talked about like member stuff and everything. But he really enjoyed watching the ideas and
That's okay. We talked about
it
some
was
of the
really
details.
special for him.
Yeah. We talked about some of the details. That was some of the best conversations I've had with Arthur. We're just
That would
laughing,
have been fun.
just laughing at stuff. Like, oh, they think this. Oh, haha, that's great. It's because he wasn't like making fun of anybody, but I think he enjoyed seeing how people attacked what his thoughts were. You know, how people
Yeah.
attacked the puzzle, and yeah, I can say he really enjoyed the short time, but the time he got to spend watching people try to do it. I felt bad for Arthur. I'm glad you said that he was very particular in the way he wanted to do things, because I felt bad because when he approached me with this, I was just like, yeah, do what you want. And he was like, do you want to talk about what my ideas are? I was like, no, dude, just do it. Do whatever you want to do. I was like, I'll do my thing, you do your thing. Here's like 5 things, and do it. And he did a great job. Like I can't figure it out. I never understood how like Joellen or John could be part of the book and be like, I have no idea what Byron did, until Arthur did his thing, and I'm like, I can't figure it out. So
Yeah, it's so special, and it's just so much like him to give an entire like hunt, to come to you and be like, hey, let's do this, it's pretty
yeah,
special.
and let me be clear, that hunt is 99% Arthur. Like that was his idea. He planned everything out. He set everything up. He did the painting. He did the sculptures. He did everything. My input was minimal. So, yeah, it was a great idea, and he did a great job. So yeah.
And that's I'll just share that note that I had sent you yesterday, the day before, George. I just wanted to clear with you.
Yeah.
One of the things he had said to me was the video that he shared, the little pre-release video. I don't know what to call it. He said in the video at the beginning is also one I love personally, because we were talking about the figures in it. The guy's a genius. He said the ones I love personally, 2 actually, the Madonna kids, but the boy with the gnome hat and the girl with the fey wings, and the Spanish Queen Isabella riding the Medici Bridge lion. Those were to not make something of the paintings, but of what people think could be clues. And he meant that as the secret, not as, I'm not telling anybody what for your hunt, the anniversary hunt with him, but it was just cool that he was telling me what his favorites were, and he sent me pictures of those, and it was just really sweet and just amazing, just the things that man could do with any form of media.
Yeah.
So definitely a huge loss all around, just as a human being in creative talent.
Does anyone have anything else? Or should we wrap
I'm
up?
gonna make you cry, George.
I'm gonna make you. You're gonna make me cry.
No, I'm just saying the rest of us are already kind of on there. But.
I have a lot of practice at doing memorial stuff. I'm good. I'll cry later. So do we end? Are we good? Does anybody have a drink? That's sort of a tradition. Kate's got no drink.
Oh, I like Rebecca's glass.
Yeah.
I wish I had a drink.
Ice is fine as long as it's not water. Flavored water is good.
Katie, you're not drinking
I'm
anything?
hungover
Not
from
even,
last
not
night.
even, oh, she's got a water. Well, don't drink yet.
To Arthur?
Arthur, his legacy, and,
Ding.
and everything. Yeah.
Clink, 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 clink.
Sweet, sweet Arthur.
Ow. That needed ice.
Katie had the ice.
There's still some. I took a sip. You gave me way too much. It was the.
There's no such thing as too much.
You gonna drink
Johnny
it?
Walker.
There's a lot left.
In a second. All right. So then we'll close out, and we'll let Arthur close. And as soon as he does, I'll just turn off the stream. Thank you guys for coming. Thank you guys for watching.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for putting this
Love you,
together,
Arthur.
Rebecca.
Yes, Rebecca, thank you for putting all this together.
Thank you. Thank you
Was
for the
it-
support.
It was a very good idea.
Thank
It
you.
was very sweet.
And here's a sign off from our friend.
Bye bye, everyone.
All right.